The little girl was already asleep on his shoulder when he finally gathered the courage to ask the question that had been burning in his chest all evening. His voice trembled, quiet but honest, carrying the weight of exhaustion, pride, and a father's fear of failing his child. Looking at the powerful woman sitting across from him, the CEO whose name appeared in magazines and whose company towered above the city skyline. The single dad swallowed his pride and asked the one thing he never thought he would ask anyone. Would we sleep in the same bed? For a moment, the room fell silent. The city lights flickered beyond the tall glass windows. And the answer she gave that night would change all three of their lives forever. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us humanity still exists in this world, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs a little hope today, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Stories. Your support helps these meaningful stories reach more hearts. Daniel Rivera had never imagined his life would look like this. 5 years earlier, he had been an ordinary man with an ordinary dream. A small home, a loving wife, and a peaceful future for their daughter. But life had a way of rewriting plans without warning. His wife, Sophia, had been the light in their world. She laughed easily, loved deeply, and had a quiet strength that made everything feel possible. But illness had crept into their lives like a shadow that refused to leave. By the time doctors discovered the disease, it had already taken too much. Within a year, Daniel found himself standing in a silent hospital hallway holding the tiny hand of their 3-year-old daughter while saying goodbye to the woman who had held their family together. After that day, life became a daily battle. Daniel worked construction during the day and cleaned offices at night. Every dollar went toward rent, food, and childcare. Some nights he barely slept. Some mornings he wondered how long he could keep going. But whenever he looked at his daughter Lily, with her messy brown curls and sleepy smile, he reminded himself why he had to keep trying. Lily was the reason he kept standing. Yet the world rarely made things easy for single fathers. Babysitters were expensive. Daycare waiting lists were long. And many employers simply didn't want the complication of a parent who sometimes had to leave early when a child got sick. The job that finally broke him was the construction project downtown. It had promised stability, decent pay, and regular hours. For a while, Daniel believed things were finally improving. Then one rainy afternoon, everything collapsed. Lily's daycare called saying she had a high fever and needed to be picked up immediately. Daniel dropped his tools and rushed across the city. When he returned the next morning, his supervisor handed him a final paycheck and told him the company needed workers who were fully available. That night Daniel sat in their tiny apartment staring at unpaid bills. Lily slept beside him on the couch, clutching her stuffed rabbit. The landlord had already warned him the rent was late. He had 1 week left before they would lose their home. Days passed in a blur of job applications and quiet rejections. Daniel carried Lily with him everywhere, walking from office to office, hoping someone might give him a chance. Most people barely looked at him. Until the afternoon he walked into the tall glass building of Arden Global. The lobby alone felt like another world. Marble floors reflected the sunlight pouring through massive windows. People in elegant suits walked quickly, holding tablets and coffee cups. Daniel felt out of place in his worn jacket and dusty boots. He approached the front.